You really like think that Before I Let Go is a trash song for a tailgate or just it's a boring song.
It's a mediocre song.
What?
Which by the way, our tailgate our touchdown and tailgate playlist is dropping this weekend.
And I just want how many songs? How many songs are you doing a piece? Because I know you don't have a vast playlist. Because it's probably
I have a vaster playlist than you. I actually listened.
You literally just said Before I Let Go was a bad song.
I did not say it was a bad song. I said it was a boring song.
You literally have no legitimacy once you say that. You just said Frankie Beverly and Maze is boring.
Bro, is it Frankie Beverly and Maze, or is it Maze and Frankie Beverly? Because
it's Before I Let Go. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Stop trying to cause turmoil.
They don't even know their damn name. They don't even know their official name. They're worse than us with our TDs underscore tangents and our touchdowns and tangents. And is the and sign official or is it not? It just depends on the setting.
It's adjacent. Yeah. It's adjacent to the setting. But you're just disrespectful.
But yeah, man. So football season is here. I'm excited. It was great to talk to people about football, especially, like Kevin was saying, talking to other people that aren't fans of your team. That's what makes football great. Is
when everybody has optimism before the season is just doldrum and shit, and you're just wallowing in fantasy football woes.
Exactly, it's that, and it's also football is a game that brings 53 random ass people of all different shapes, sizes together. So. Real quick, before we officially close out the show with our rants, after all this, is it still the Chiefs and the Rams are the class of the AFC West and the NFC West? Is that who you think is going to win it?
Chiefs are going to win by default. The Seahawks are going to exploit some of the Rams' weaknesses, and I think they're barely going to win that division. I think the Rams are barely going to win that division by like half a game.
I could see that as well. I mean, I can also see I'm sticking with the Chargers winning the AFC West. And,
how? And they don't even have their left tackle. He has blood clots, and you can't even name their right tackle. And they don't have their starting running back.
They have a good defense, and they have good receivers, and they have a good quarterback, and they have a good coach. They have a good culture. They can figure it out. The left tackle is the one thing that really makes me hesitate.
Their linebackers and D-lines are the strength of that team, and the receivers. So they're never really out of it. But it's kind of thin.
I also like the Seahawks. I don't know if they'll necessarily win the division because the Rams are just so stacked. But I can definitely see them getting a wild card, and that's not a team that I would want to see in the wild card. Especially if they can get their DBs and receivers together. So on that note,
unlike the Raiders who have nothing together.
On that note, why don't you go ahead and rant first, since you've been pretty quiet this whole podcast, in relative to you.
Yeah, mute yourself. Pete's trash for saying Before I Let Go is a boring song. Like, how is it that you have black friends? Like, most of who you are comes from black culture, if we're being honest, based off the music you listen to and just how you grew up. Like, that's heavily embedded in you, and you don't like Before I Let Go. Who the hell? Who do you think you are? I need to know this. Like, I think you strategically just aren't going to be at the showcase because you don't want to have to deal with that slander on stage. But I'm going to let everybody know at the Good News Radio, the Good News Showcase, September 14th at the Met Theater in Hollywood, 5 to 8:30. Get the tickets. They're still available. I'm going to let them know that you don't like that song. And I'm going to show up with this Touchdowns and Tangents better because it's really nice. I'm going to just have it draped around me. Like an African prince from Zamunda.
It's not the fucking World Cup.
I believe that our podcast will win. I believe our broadcast will win. That's the name of this episode. Damn, that's good.
That was a good one.
But seriously, you're trash for thinking Before I Let Go is a bad song. Like, do you... Like, I'm sorry that you kind of move on the 2.5 and the 4.5 and not quite the 2 and the 4. But, like, I don't... Like, something's wrong with you if you really think that song is boring. I just don't understand it. Like, can you do the electric slide? You can answer that when you get on the air. But anyway, I just want to say, everybody going back to school. I remember around this time, I was kind of doing the same thing. I was like, you know what? I was working at CSUN, but I wasn't enrolled in school. I didn't enroll in school until obviously like spring semester of this year, and then finished. But I was like, you know what? This is the last semester. I'm gonna not be in school getting my degree and pursuing it. And honestly, it was one of the best promises that I kept to myself, and I'm thankful I kept it. And I'm rooting for all of you who are starting school, whether you've been at that school for X amount of years and you feel like a super senior or whatever, or it's your first day and you're scared shitless. I'm rooting for you to win. And most importantly, go where all the free food is. You will never go wrong if you follow all the free food. But be careful because you might end up like in a cult or some weird-ass racist group. So just, be wary of that. Other than that, you're good.
All right, man. So it's interesting you brought up the whole concept of school because, you think about it, 10 years ago, we were entering our senior year, week 2, whatever, week 3, if you had a 0 week. But just to think back to that time when, all we really cared about was, football, trying to not fuck up too much that we couldn't go to college, and whatever little drama was going on with our friends group or girls or whatever was going on. And to see all the little failures and successes along the way, it's crazy to really put that all into perspective and to be right where we are now, having this podcast and this platform and having, 7 guests, 1 pull up and 6 other call in and take times out of their day because they want to participate in our platform and make it better. Is like, it's crazy. Like everything happens for a reason, and we're exactly where we need to be, I guess you could say. And so that's really great to think about. And the second thing is, I took the Labor Day weekend to drive up to Portland and visit my mom, and it was a really great time. I always enjoy driving up the coast, as if you know me, of all things that I love the West Coast. And so anytime I get a chance to really drive up and down the coast, as tiring as the drive can be, it's something that's really, really powerful to me. And, I just fully believe that not only is the West Coast the best coast, but the experiences we have here are more similar than they are not alike. And I feel like if there was more of an emphasis on the connectivity in that, there would be a much bigger presence in terms of West Coast media than just East Coast affiliates and satellites and bureaus and all the decision making coming from the Northeast. But yeah, that's a tangent. And the last part, because I'm really tired, because I don't know, I guess I haven't been eating carbs really for like 3 days. I'm doing
poor baby.
Doing a keto,
poor baby.
Starting a keto adjacent diet, but
so not keto,
but keto adjacent.
So fake.
No, I'm just really eating low carb. I don't need to go full on keto because there are some things for keto that don't work for me. So it's really more of just like really, really trying to eat low carbs. And honestly, I feel a lot better. Like physically, I feel a lot better. It's more mental. Like sometimes I just want to fucking bake good. Like sometimes I just want some ice cream. Like, so I'm really trying to not focus on not eating that and just focusing on the shit that I can eat, like meat. I love meat. But yeah, that's it for me. Touchdowns and Tangents, episode 140, we think. Kickoff edition, 2019. special edition. 7 guests, a record for us, probably a record for the Good News Studio. Shout out to X Squad affiliates. Shout out to FBC Radio. Shout out to your favorite podcast app. Shout out to Kenny for being on the ones and the twos. Shout out to all of our guests. Shout out to Locked On Broncos, Locked On Rams, 12th Man Rising, FPC Cardinals. Shout out to Mykell from Courtside. Shout out to Lightning Podcast, and shout out to us.
Hey.
Shout out to the Good News Showcase happening
September 14th, Saturday. Get your tickets. Met Theater.
Drop that beat, take us out.
I like how we're trying to outro the song, and instead of you just telling me to go down, I think it's this one. We'll see. That's not it either. Fuck, we're just gonna stay on the air until we figure out how to properly get off the air. See what happens when you improperly label things, Pete? See what happens?
Don't blame me. You always try to blame me for your technical handicaps. Like, bro, I said scroll down, you scrolled up, and you were like dragging stuff. So like, don't put that on me. Just play the beat. I'm tired.
It's funny because I knew it was this one the whole time.
I didn't want the ad though. I just wanted the beat with the touchdowns and tangents to close it out. That's all I wanted.
That's what this podcast is kind of like. So I mean, yeah, we kind of needed that part.
I didn't need that. Okay, thank you.
It's not about what you want; it's what the audience wants, Pete. Damn.
The audience has already had 2.5 hours. They don't need a ad.
Yeah, and I'm tired of looking at your bum ass hairline.